Sonny Cougar, and joining me as usual is my co-host Tim Morse, Tim the Terrible.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? It is such a pleasure to be here during the pre-show of the Codex podcast. I hope you're excited because we are. We have a ton of stuff to share with you today.
Yes, we do. We've got a lot of news. We've got a little bit of rumor mill, but there's some big news that's going on all over in Marvel Comics and DC movies and everything. And then got some previews of a lot of upcoming stuff. I'm excited to talk about some
Yeah.
of the stuff that's going to be coming. We'll be having a new segment on the show today called What We're Reading. So that'd be a new thing, a first time. And then a lot of the Codex has been up to a lot, so a little bit of our works, and we will be having someone by the name of Fluff join the F list.
I don't understand this sometimes.
Oh, trust me, whatever you're thinking about Fluff, you are probably going to be wrong.
Probably.
So I was pretty surprised too when I read up on this interesting character.
It can't be any worse than Heavy Flow.
Oh, but I'll just say he may give Heavy Flow a run for her money.
All right. Okay. I am coming up with a origin and history for Fluff as we speak.
Yes.
So there you go.
But yeah, how was your Thanksgiving, man?
It was good. We are way past that, but it is very good. It was very good. Had a lot of food. I made the cheese ball. I burnt the cornbread, and I ate a pumpkin pie all to myself.
Nice. Yeah, I was definitely. I think I gained a few lbs over the 2 days Thanksgiving.
Yes.
My side of the family, and then Friday Maria's side of the family. And both days I ate way more than I probably should have. But it's Thanksgiving. How often do I get all this good food?
That's right. Twice a year, once on Thanksgiving and once on Christmas.
There you go. Yeah.
Speaking of Christmas,
have you good sales?
Yeah, that too. Have you done all your Christmas shopping?
I've done a lot, the majority of it. How about you?
I'm probably at about 40% right now. I got some good stuff for the kids, and I'm not done yet. I've got a little more to do next week, and then I think I'll be finished.
Nice. Yeah, so I did most of mine. A lot was on Thanksgiving. I was looking at everything kind of, but then, I'm sure keeping some things in mind of like if there's any more sales. And you never know sometimes when you find something random, like, okay, I kind of need to get this for so-and-so.
No, I will put this out there for our fans and viewers or anybody stumbling upon this podcast right at this particular moment. Me, Tim the Terrible, is really into the G.I. Joe Classifieds line. So if you feel so inclined to send a gift to moi, you can do any of the G.I. Joe Classifieds, and I will be most grateful.
Yes, and Tim's address is
just reach out to us on the sexycodexpodcast.com. Ask for Tim the Terrible's address, and after a vetted background check to determine that you won't harm me or anyone else in the near future, I will send that to you.
The Gmail, not .com.
Oh yeah, that too.
You may have sent them to a site that we don't know about.
Oops.
What was that kind of site you sent us to?
Sorry, not sorry. So there you go. Sexycodexpodcast at gmail.com, ladies and gentlemen. Ask for Tim the Terrible.
I made up that email.
I know.
I was trying to do all these other Codex stuff and nothing was going through. And I'm like, you know what? Sexy Codex. And then it went through.
And now that is our professional email address. That's a wonder.
I would love to see some of the people's reactions when they're talking. It's like regular chatting. It's like, oh, and our email is Sexy Codex Podcast.
Oh my God.
But I don't think they'll forget it, though. I think it's pretty memorable.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
What was their email? It was definitely a sexy email.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that thought you misheard what I said, You definitely did not, because there it is. Sexycodexpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to reach out to Sunno the writer and ask for beautiful writing tips, directing tips, or editing critiques, right there.
Yes, I will. Yeah, I always love to help out. I join groups online. You know, I'll give little tips and things like that.
There you go.
Every now and then I'll message just for the whole group. Get off of Facebook and write your story.
That's right. Put the phone down, go
Yeah,
touch some grass, and say please and thank you.
yeah. And you know what? And I actually do get quite a few thank
There you
yous.
go. There you go. Not so many pleases.
Yeah, some people. Oh, thank you.
All right.
And one person is very mad, and I was like, you can tell you're not doing your work if you got mad at a random me just saying, "Hey, everybody, get to work," and they're like, "Oh, what about you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And like, "Oh, well, this I looked you up."
All you
I'm
have
like,
are
"Thank you."
PDF trophy awards, Sonno, the writer. I don't even think they're legit and or printed off.
They are. They are. They're legit. I have a legit show on YouTube. I have a legit podcast, a whole station
That's
along
right.
with, and plenty of books.
That's right. Just look behind him. That's not a fake bookshelf, ladies and gentlemen.
Is right.
There's a lot of
That
comic
is
books
right.
on there, a lot of omnibuses.
Yeah. And on this thing called the telephone or on the laptop, you can look up Son of the Writer, you can look up Sonny Kruger, and it will somehow find you'll find your way to the stories I've written, some of them.
Don't start
And then even to on Wattpad.
don't start talking about fancy technology that we don't understand. I'm 44 years old.
And you know, Tim, I'm up to date though, okay? I'm on TikTok. I'm a TikToker.
Oh wow, okay. On the TikTok, the memes
Yes.
and the gifs.
And yeah, the GIFs, that is right. It is called GIF,
Or GIF.
not GIF.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So, dot JPEG, dot PNG, not a web file, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. The IMP4
God.
and the IMP3.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. We're gonna have a good show today.
Oh yeah.
I'm especially excited about the F list. I do have to say that is the,
I
the one I'm very excited about. When I found this guy, I'm like, oh, he is without a doubt an F lister.
I get scared every time you send the pictures, because that's all I have to go off of is the pictures. I like, at least I recognize the artist. It's Mike Allred, so I know it comes from either Mad Men or Ecstatic or X Force or something like that, somewhere in there. Either way, I know jack and squat about the character beyond that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we do know a lot about some other stuff. Like I said, quite a bit of news
Hmm.
and quite a bit of previews of a lot of good stuff
Oh yeah.
coming out. Well, some good stuff. I shouldn't say all good. Some I was like, huh? But yeah, we'll get more into that, into the actual show.
There you go.
And Tim, in a little bit, I'm ready. If you are ready,
I am ready to go, Sonny. Let me go ahead and get rid of this little ticker right there. If it'll go away. There we go. All
what kind
right.
of music? Groovy,
Well,
bass, or aliens
let's
again?
see here. Jamie loves the bass line, the groovy bass line, but I
I think
figure,
most Codex members love it.
yeah. Well, here, let's go with some television static. How about that?
Perfect.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen,
Right.
ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in 30 to 60 seconds. Sonny, there is no sound coming out of you right now. Sonny is a mine, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Codex podcast. My name is Tim the Terrible. This silent partner next to me is Son with a writer. Oh, there he is.
I'm here.
Sonny, go ahead.
Thank you for getting us started, Tim. Thank you for kicking off this show as I accidentally hit the mute button on my microphone. So yes, I'm Sonny Kruger. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. As Tim the Terrible already mentioned, he is Tim the Terrible. I am Sonny Kruger, and thank you all for joining us on this new episode of the Code X podcast.
This technically illiterate Codex podcast.
Oh yeah, and I see right now, well, at least this show will be edited, but right now I see we don't have the actual name up for what this episode is actually called.
Mystique is Nightcrawler's dad.
Yes. Mystique is Nightcrawler's dad, but we'll get onto that with our comic book news / the rundown, which we got a lot of comic book news, even some rumors, some little bit of gossip. Tim loves to gossip.
I do.
Well, he does. We got some previews coming up of some things that are going to come out soon, some things coming out next year that are very exciting. We're all excited about. We will be having a new segment. We'll get to that after the previews, and it's called What We're Reading. And then we'll be having some of our works. Tim is very excited about that, what we're reading. He's almost pulling it out right now.
Almost.
Don't pull it out just yet. Pull it out later.
Slow and steady.
But yes, slow and steady wins the race, kids. But yeah, after what we're reading, we're going on to our works, what we're doing, all the stuff we got going on with the Code X station. And finally, we will be having the F list, and a man by the name of Fluff will join the F list.
Do you want them to have a preview of that, or should they be as surprised as I am?
They could take one little peek.
One? Here, we'll do this one.
Boom.
That's all you get, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, there he is. You'll get more of Fluff later.
Ooh.
But we had a good pre-show. We were chatting a bit about Thanksgiving and what we were doing, and talking about what we're going to do on the show. And now here we are on the show, ready to go with comic book news. And I will start us off with the rundown. Mystique is Nightcrawler's dad. Yes, like Tim said earlier, you did not hear wrong. That is the big talk in the comic book world right now, and that is that in X-Men Blue Origins #1, it is revealed, Mystique reveals to Nightcrawler that she is actually his dad, that she and Destiny were together, and Mystique shapeshifted into a man, got her pregnant, so they are actually parents of Nightcrawler. And there's getting a lot of people talking. We'll focus on that more a little bit later.
Yeah.
After we get through more of the rundown. But yes, there were some good news. I don't know how people are going to feel about that, but I think this was some good news. And there was more castings for Superman Legacy. Nicholas Hoult has been cast as Lex Luthor, and Skylar Gisondo has been cast as Jimmy Olsen. Also, we heard that Miller World is going to Dark Horse Comics. And that is that Mark Miller, his Miller World, with comic books such as Wanted, Kingsman, The Secret Service, Kick-Ass, and Jupiter's Legacy. All those characters are going to Dark Horse Comics. So that is very interesting, especially, I think, a big move for Dark Horse. We also got some rumors, and that is that Pedro Pascal may be playing Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four. Also, we heard that possibly saying that Silver Surfer may be played by a female. And then finally, I heard about this from Heritage Auctions, that I put it in our schedule as best of the breast sells for $132,000, and that is that the illustration Rob Liefeld created, the infamous picture he drew of Captain America looking like he has huge breasts.
Yes.
Sold for $132,000.
Sonny, I think we need to start with that.
I'm more than fine with that.
Let's start with the greatest news of the week and how Rob Liefeld's iconic horrible piece of Captain America sold for $132,000.
Man, imagine him just sitting there like, "See, I told you I'm the best. My sale, I sell for
Oh my
$132,000."
God.
Imagine that. Imagine all the sexy pictures out there with big-breasted women, and the one that sells for the most is big-breasted Captain America.
I am looking through the massive list of pictures that I have to see if I can bring it up. I don't think I have it in here. I might have it somewhere else. Either way, Sonny, please give us a major rundown on what that picture looked like.
Yeah, so you see Captain America standing to the side, and he looks like he has huge breasts, but one looks bigger than the other. His arm is not visibly seen.
It is completely out of proportion.
Yeah, completely out of proportion. If you haven't seen, because I'm sure a lot of you know the infamous big-breasted Captain America picture
Yeah.
by Rob Liefeld, but if you don't, you could even easily find it. Like bad Captain America picture, Captain America big boobs, Captain America Rob Liefeld.
Best of the
It's gonna
breasts.
show up. Yeah, best of,
There you go.
that may lead you to some other interesting pictures too, but yeah. You think Power Girl has big breasts? Wait till
Oh
you
my God.
see Rob Liefeld's Captain America.
So, Sonny, this picture, as much as we shit on it, right? It is an iconic piece of artwork, not in the good sense, but
In
I,
a bad way,
I,
iconically bad.
iconic in the sense that it is incredibly terrible. Like there's nothing good about that picture in any way, shape, or form. Maybe the colors, right? The inking
Yeah,
looks
maybe.
pretty solid, but everything else is horrible. And it, Rob Liefeld said it. I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, "This is one of the most iconic pieces in comic book history because people have been talking about it since the day it hit store shelves." And he's right. I mean, we can't shut up about it because it's so bad.
What I do love about it is that it does give us a lot to talk and
Yeah,
laugh
very
about,
much
so
so.
in that sense, but I wouldn't pay much for that at all, I might pay 132 cents
So
for it, but not
what sold
$132,000.
was the original pencils and inks. Is that right? Yeah, the
Yes, yeah, the
uncolored
most famous
version.
comic
Yeah.
illustration ever created, yeah.
Yeah, so whoever bought that, I mean, it'll hold value. I don't know if it'll retain its $132,000 price tag in the future, but it may not. I don't know. It's just yeah. That's why we talk about it
Yeah,
because it's trash. It's horrible.
yeah. Imagine somebody comes over to their house who doesn't, like, know much about comics
Let
or,
me
like,
show
Rob
you
Liefeld and the
this.
names. "Yeah, look what I paid 132,000 for that? The horrible looking Captain America."
Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, they could be like, "My 10-year-old just drew a Captain America, and it's better than that."
Yeah, but
Can I give them $100,000 too?
did your 10-year-old sell it for 132,000? No, he or she did not.
Yeah, that is right, yes, so
Oh, Lord.
there's only one Rob Liefeld, and look at that. As I said, best of the breast. So I feel like we can't get away from that picture. Every
No.
now and then we'll go a few months without talking about it, and something will come up. Like remember when they a few months ago when they had the new Captain America,
Oh, yeah.
Sam Wilson Captain America, staying in the same pose.
Yeah, when Rob Liefeld parodied his own work, or as he says, improved upon? I don't know.
Yes. Sure. I mean, maybe, but it's just
Oh
yeah,
my God. Yeah,
yeah.
so something that could be true but is not true. I don't know. The rumor mill, ladies and gentlemen, you know I have my ear to the ground as far as all this stuff goes. I read the dirt sheets, I read the trades, I keep my eyes and ears open to the latest and coolest in rumors. And this one has a lot of people talking, and not all of it's bad. So Pedro Pascal from The Last of Us, from Game of Thrones, The Mandalorian, the rumor is he is in final negotiations to play Mr. Fantastic. Now, my personal opinion on that is that man is a phenomenal actor. His range is exemplary, and he could do a Mr. Fantastic. Do I think that he is right for the role? Possibly. I think I'm about 70% at that right now. The color of his skin has nothing to do with it, right? It's all about acting chops here, and that is a huge and immensely popular name right now. The role I think he could be served better in, though, is Doctor Doom.
Oh,
Mhm.
very interesting. Very interesting pick. Yeah. And like you said, me, I'm more about like, yeah, can you bring the spirit of the character? I mean, sometimes I like comic accuracy,
Yeah.
but he doesn't look that much different from him. I
Yeah.
mean, like you said, yeah. Yeah. So to me, I find like I said, he's a great actor. So that's the thing. Like, okay, at least I'm excited about that. He brings a load of fans over.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
he's very popular. You know, I think my mom might even be watching Fantastic Four if he's in there. um,
Everybody's mom will be.
but yeah, so yeah, it's a very good actor. I'm trying to think of who, like right now, who would be like my first pick for Mr. Fantastic, but I wouldn't be upset if he gets the role. Like you
No,
said,
no,
and like you
absolutely
said,
not.
be very if he does get Doctor Doom, I think that'd be pretty interesting too to see him take on
I would
a role
like to
like
see
that.
him as Doctor Doom. The guy that I think could do a really great Mr. Fantastic. Now we're just fan casting at this point, and I can never remember his name, but we all know who he is. He's the guy that played Scarecrow in Batman Begins. He,
Cillian Murphy.
thank you. He was in Peaky Blinders and a ton of other stuff. He would be great as Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic is not a buff bulk dude. I mean, he's muscular, he's toned and all that stuff, but he's kind of lanky, he's scientist, he's more on the thinner side, leaner side, I
Yeah, I think
guess.
Cillian Murphy would be a good pick.
Yeah, yeah, I think Cillian Murphy would be great as Mr. Fantastic and cast Pedro Pascal as Doctor Doom. You've got an Oscar worthy performance right there.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we will see what happens with Fantastic Four.
Mhm.
But what I'm really hoping, I love the Silver Surfer. I don't want to see him be cast as a woman. I think to do that, I mean, I was hearing what was her name? Anna Taylor Joy. They were saying, "Oh,
Mhm.
what if it's her?" And she played Magic in New Mutants. I mean, as much as we may love seeing her naked flying through the cosmos, I want Silver Surfer to be the way he is in the comics because I'm a huge fan. But I think it would be perfect if they really want to have a
Mhm.
female Herald of Galactus is have someone play Nova,
Yeah,
who was a
exactly.
female Herald
Well
of Galactus, not to change Silver Surfer.
well, see, here's the thing with Marvel, though, right? Like with DC, James Gunn is covering his eyes and shooting down rumor after rumor, right? That pops up, and he's made the blanket statement: 99% of what is out there right now is false. The 1% that's true, I'm not going to tell you what it is. And I love that. Feige, on the other hand, with Marvel, the rumors fly and they don't get shut down, they don't get debunked or anything like that, and people build up these expectations, and then when it's not delivered they get disappointed, right? So the rumor with Silver Surfer being cast as a female, I think, is just that. It's a rumor. uh, i don't
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that that's something that they're going to do. And like you said, if they want to have a female Herald of Galactus, why change the gender of Silver Surfer when you could use Nova, who is equally as powerful as the Silver Surfer because she is imbued with the power cosmic, like the Silver Surfer was, and she was the next herald, or the second or third Herald of Galactus. She was the Herald of Galactus through the majority of the 90s. So she has staying power. Do that.
Yeah. And if you want to see more about Nova being the Herald of Galactus, remember me and Tim, we reviewed Silver Surfer, the Herald Ordeal
That's right. And she was a
back.
major character in that.
Oh, she was, yeah. Which episode was that? Was it 85?
Probably
Well,
within the past few
something
months.
like that.
Yeah.
Within the past, yeah. A while ago we did.
Yep.
No, it wasn't 85. Well, it was before, but at some point we did review we reviewed the Silver Surfer, the Hero
Yep.
Ordeal. You can check it out. Yeah, so it was a great, I love this story, and because also too, if you change the Silver Surfer to a female, kind of, the only thing with Frankie Ray Nova would be like, oh, she could be a friend. Where I liked that there
Mm,
was a bit of romance between the two. I liked
yeah,
that there was
exactly.
something special. She's a special. She's the female hero of
Yeah,
Galactus.
exactly. And throw
Yeah,
Terax in
'cause-
the middle of that. There's your cosmic movie right
yes,
there. Done.
yeah,
Sonny, we should be writing Marvel movies.
we should. I would, I gladly would.
Ah.
And that was the one thing with the Captain Marvel movie that was the most thing that annoyed me with it, because I still enjoyed watching it.
Mhm.
But I didn't like that they made the original Captain Marvel a female as opposed to how he was in the
I
comics.
get that. In the comics, Marvel was a major character in the 70s and early 80s. And his death is like the only death aside from Uncle Ben's that sticks. Uh, so yeah, I get that. And in the cinematic universe, they haven't explored Marvel near enough. So
No way. Yeah, so that was the one thing I was disappointed with.
mhm.
But we shall see. And I think, like you said, Tim, it is right now. It is rumor mill. It's part of that rumor
Just
mill.
stirring the pot, ladies and gentlemen, stirring the
Yeah,
pot.
but it wasn't rumors. It was. Been confirmed about the castings in Superman Legacy.
Yes, so those are confirmed. Those were acknowledged by James Gunn himself. They were released by The Hollywood Reporter and a bunch of other very reputable sites. These castings are real. Beast from the X-Men First Class trilogy. What is his name, Sonny? Nathan Holt?
Nick- Nicholas Holt. Yeah.
Nicholas Holt. He, or best known for his role in Jack the Giant Slayer. Ladies and gentlemen,
Giant Slayer.
he is going to be our Lex Luthor. I think that's a great choice. And the gentleman that is cast for Jimmy Olsen, I'm not familiar with anything that he's been in, but he looks the part. So I'm
Yeah,
very
he
cool
looks the
with
part for
that.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and on top of that, James Gunn and the producers and whatnot are out scouting locations right now, and they should be down around the Atlanta area. So if you're in there,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you're there, look around, take some pictures, send them to us so that way we can show them right here on the podcast.
Yeah, Atlanta really is up and coming with the film industry. A lot of people are going there for a lot of films, so I would
Hmm.
not be surprised if they do end up filming a lot there. I know Stranger Things is like one of the big shows right now
Yeah.
that films in Atlanta.
Oh yeah. Tons of stuff gets filmed down there. So yeah, the casting is moving right along for Superman Legacy. I know the cast looks a little crowded, but I think a lot of those characters are only going to have bit parts or very minor roles. The movie is a Superman movie. It's going to be about Superman. It's going to be about Lois Lane. So, but this is the foundation, guys, for the DCU, the DC universe going forward. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm excited.
we're really looking forward to it. I know
Hmm.
it'll be a while, but hey, we can be all excited. And hey, before you know it, we'll be like, it's 2024. We only got one more year left. It's
Yeah.
still set for 2025 release, right?
Yeah, June, I think, June or July 2025. It's going to be a summer movie. So we've got a year and a half basically before this movie comes out.
Okay, so I got a little bit of time to bulk up and then send in my audition to say I'm going to play Steel.
Done. Done.
Perfect.
No, you should play Connor Kent. That's who you should be.
Not a bad choice. Not a
Yeah.
bad choice, Tim.
Or the Eradicator. You could be the Eradicator.
Eh, I got the sunglasses. I got the glasses. I've been waiting to use them.
I think you should play the Eradicator. That's it. Done.
I've been waiting for my time. I've had these glasses for years. We'll see.
Let's briefly talk about Millar World going to Dark Horse, but then I want to get into the big story of the week with you, Sonny.
Oh yeah.
So Miller World, Kick-Ass, Nemesis, The Ambassadors, Jupiter Legacy,
The Kingsman,
Kingsman,
yeah, Wanted.
so on and so forth. Guys, you know what it is. It is fine. It is getting a home at Dark Horse. Sonny, like you said, that is a huge draw for them. That is a big win on their part to have Millar World right there at Dark Horse. That's amazing. I think they're going to do a very good job with it. They need something big. They have big stuff right now, but something like that is a big, big deal. And I'm pretty excited about that. I'll support that.
Yeah, me too. I was glad to see that he went to Dark Horse Comics, and also too, I saw somewhere I believe I read in the article, it was saying something along the lines of that Miller World, where Mark Miller and his Miller World has a deal with Netflix. He signed a deal a while ago, something from like
Exclusive. Yeah.
exclusive, somewhere from $30 to $50 million. So
Yeah. So everything he writes in comic form gets optioned to Netflix first. They have exclusive first look, and they get to decide whether they put it out or pass on it. Yeah.
not a bad deal.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, and that money too. That 30 to 50
Yeah.
million.
Done. Yeah, and then whatever contract he writes for royalties or anything like that too. Yeah, that's good. I'm good with that.
Yes. And now it's something that some may be fine with and some aren't so good with. And there's the big news of Mystique revealing that she is Nightcrawler's father. So I'll
Yes.
read a little bit of what I read first.
Sure, go ahead.
This is from the IGN. It was saying the X-Men Blues Origins sees Nightcrawler currently masquerading as the uncanny Spider-Man following the disastrous events of the latest Hellfire Gala, confronting Mystique in a park. Mystique's mind has become fractured due to her resisting Professor Xavier's telepathic command for all mutants to flee Earth. That, in turn, has opened up a flood of memories about her past that dramatically changes what we thought we knew about Nightcrawler's origin. And then some of you may know this, but I'll still read it. That originally Marvel established that Nightcrawler was the son of Mystique and a German nobleman named Baron Christian Wagner. As the story goes, Mystique was forced to flee Wagner's home when the local villagers discovered her baby had blue skin, and Nightcrawler was found and adopted by the sorceress Margali Zardos. And said later Marvel made the controversial choice to revamp that origin story in 2003's Uncanny X-Men, The Draco, which revealed that Mystique had an affair with a demon lord named Azazel that was meant to explain why Nightcrawler has a demonic appearance and the power to teleport through Azazel's hellish realm. And then now in this story, written by Cy Spurrier and artist Marcus II, like I said, we got the new story is that you
No.
know, Mystique actually is the father of Nightcrawler, that she and Destiny were together. They are a couple. They had been a couple, and that Mystique had turned into, she shapeshifted into a man and impregnated Destiny, and they gave birth to Nightcrawler. And then later that Xavier, they changed things so that all their minds were different, so that they didn't remember it. Even himself, he said, like, oh, this is your privacy, I'll take it. He's like, but if I don't get rid of it, it's still down there somewhere. It may come back and you may
Resurface.
remember it. It may resurface, and looks like it did.
Wow.
Yeah. Tim, how about you? What are you thinking about Daddy Mystique?
So, I don't have too big of an issue with that. I mean, what is this? This is the third change to Nightcrawler's origin, so his origin is now as muddled as the Joker's, right? It could be said for that. Um, the the pseudoscience aside, for how that is even possible with Mystique and her mutant powers, right? So from what I understand is when she morphs into somebody, she does not get their powers per se, but if she morphs into a man, she now has reproductive abilities. I don't know. That's well beyond
This I was thinking too.
my
Like,
range of thought, nor care. It doesn't matter to me. My investment into X-Men is very small at the moment. Um, it's it's a change that's there now. In 2 to 3 years, when somebody writes Nightcrawler again, it'll be changed again. So I'm not too concerned about it. I'm not concerned about it now. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's Marvel is getting the response that it wants, right? people are talking about
Yeah,
X-Men,
people talking about, yep.
and that's happening. And if it's a major complaint that Mystique and Destiny, who have been lovers for decades at this point, had a child, and that child is Nightcrawler, I'm cool with that. That doesn't bother me. Um, does it erase the things that had been written before? Yeah, but writers do that all the time in Marvel. Zeb Wells, I'm looking at you. Um, but it other writers come along and they change things again. The timeline and canon for Marvel and DC across the board is wavy at best. So it is what it is. Love it or hate it, that's up to you. But don't get pissed off at people that are enjoying the story right now. Let them continue to enjoy it, because just because it bothers you doesn't mean that it bothers somebody else, and you don't have the right to make them feel guilty or ashamed for enjoying a story that they enjoy.
Yeah, nicely said. And true. Yeah, like I said, why do we read comic books or any kind of books or anything? Because we want to
Exactly.
enjoy it. So I can't. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're enjoying it, I don't blame you. You know.
I quit reading Spider-Man because I was depressed after every issue that I read. So, yeah.
You gave it like 30 chances. So
I gave it a lot of chances.
yeah,
but yeah.
for me. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it being Mystique as the dad. Um, for instance, like I said, I feel like it changes the past. It changes
Mhm.
Mystique and Nightcrawler's past. Um, Mystique and Destiny, I could see them being a couple. I mean, now I'm getting used to like because when you read the older X-Men, Destiny was like very old, where now she
Mhm.
is younger. So okay, I get that.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with them being in a relationship. Uh, thing with the Mystique, I like the old story
Where
where
Mystique
she
was
had
his mom.
where Mystique was the mom and she
Yeah.
gave away Nightcrawler because even in the picture shown, it was saying like, oh, she's Mystique was more angry at Xavier, like, oh, he took away this memory, he put this bad memory in my head, made me think I didn't care about you. And to me, it almost makes Xavier seem bad
Right.
and Mystique seem more good. And it seems over the years they're trying to make Mystique more good, good, good. And for me personally, like I said, this is our opinions. Personally, I like Mystique as being more on the bad side with
Yes.
some goodness in her, some love, like for Rogue, and
Yeah.
eventually for her to, to love, Nightcrawler. But I don't want her to just seem like suddenly she's perfectly good, nice. I like her to be 70% bad, about 30% good. And
That's a
like you
yeah,
said, I
that's a
think
good
there's gonna
ratio.
I think there's gonna be, yeah, like I said, somewhere along the line in a couple years, someone may change it because
Mhm.
especially it wasn't like shown as this is the origin, this is what
Yeah.
happened. It's Mystique's mind, and now she's suddenly remembering. And
Right.
who's to say she's not remembering it the wrong way? You know, if her
Exactly.
mind was altered before, who's to say it couldn't have happened right now? And I think maybe that's kind of why they're putting it out there now. They're going to see the response. Okay, this has
Mhm.
everyone talking, but how many people are liking it? Should we keep it? And then they can always, like I said, well,
Yeah.
that's not how you remember it. The real way is this.
Exactly. Yep, Sonny,
But
I
yeah,
couldn't have said it better myself.
and I do like that you said if somebody is enjoying it, even if somebody likes it or doesn't like it, you don't have to put somebody down, right?
Yeah.
We all want to read things we enjoy. So somebody
People
enjoys it,
love
hey, then
people love Zeb Wells writing The Amazing Spider-Man. I grit my teeth every time I see the issue on store shelves, but I don't tell you you can't read it. I'll tell you how I feel about it. But whether you want to read it or not is up to you.
even just like that great character, Exo Man of War. Jamie may not like him, but he's never said, Sonny, quit reading it or sending me
I
messages.
love Exo Man of
Yeah,
War. I'm not ashamed to admit that.
so, so look, we like him, yeah. But see, like I said,
Yeah,
nobody's telling us not to, and
that's right.
I'd have quite a nastier, more of a cocky remark if someone had was like, stop reading that.
Negative, sir. That is a
they
negative,
they
Ghost
learn why
Rider. The pattern is full.
they learn why they call me Cocky Sonny.
Oh.
Yeah.
That covers the
Okay,
rundown.
sometimes it's my mom who calls me Cocky Sonny, and sometimes it's my lady, Maria. Sometimes they're, "Oh, Cocky Sonny."
Oh my god.
So if you talk about Exo Man of War to me, you'll be like, "Yep, he is Cocky Sonny."
That's right.
So just enjoy life. Enjoy Exo Man of War, enjoy Daddy Mystique. Just do what makes you happy.
There you go.
And with that, let's talk about some more things. I say, if there's any more news you'd like to go back over, or would you like to move
Nope,
on to some
I'm good.
previews?
I think we covered everything pretty well.
Yeah, good fun. And now we can talk about some more fun things that are coming
Mhm.
in the future, and it's some previews. And before, Jamie had sent us a link about Joker Year One, and
Ooh,
that's something that I'm very excited
I
about.
must have missed
Is
that.
Joker Year? Yes. So in February, during Batman issues 142 to 144,
Mhm.
it will be the storyline Joker Year One. So Chip
Oh,
Zdarsky will be taking on the origin of the Joker within these 3 issues, and it's set to explain a lot. Like even two they didn't mention. I saw that it's going to talk about the 3 Jokers, how there is 3. Like we know the story,
yeah.
Batman, the 3 Jokers.
One of the
Isn't it?
greatest
It's from
stories ever written,
Elseworlds.
by the way.
Yeah. Oh man, that was an incredible one.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's right. That was one I had to get when we were reading. I'm like, nope, I need to buy it.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So they did say they're going to mention in this story somewhere along the lines of 3 Jokers,
Nice.
and yeah, so they're going to really go over an origin story. So Batman Year One was an awesome story that we did review before, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Joker Year One will be.
I
And before I forget, it's set to be continuing where Batman the Killing Joke and Batman the Killing Joke, how they mentioned the Joker's origin,
Mhm.
and there it's set to continue off of that,
Interesting.
the origin. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I'm
So
kinda
that's one that
sold
has me
on that.
interested.
Yeah, that's something I'll check out. As
Yeah.
always, for my end of previews, Ultimate Spider-Man, that comes out in January. Guys, that's gonna be huge, it's gonna be
1
hot,
month
it's gonna
away.
be great. Yes, 1 less than a month. Um, it's gonna be awesome. You've got Duke and Cobra Commander coming out for the Energon universe. That is gonna be huge. I am super excited about those. My local comic shop in Knoxville, Nirvana Comics, ladies and gentlemen, they have an exclusive cover for Duke #1 coming out, and I will be getting my hands on that, and I will showcase that here as soon as I have it. But
Duke Nukem, right?
Duke
Yeah.
Nukem, yeah, exactly. Um, but beyond that, I mean, it's the same issues that I'm reading now. Sensational She-Hulk is amazing. Superman for DC is up and away, ladies and gentlemen. That is the title to read. Green Arrow's ongoing. That is amazing. Batman is a solid read. Amazing Spider-Man, which I am not reading right now, but Gang Wars is going on. If that's something you're interested in, go check it out. Let's see here. Daredevil is really holding its own at the moment. Transformers and Void Rivals. Void Rivals, guys, that is chef's kiss. That is great. I am loving that right
Tell,
now.
tell me a little bit about Void Rivals. What is it basically about? I'm
So,
not too familiar.
so Void Rivals, when Robert Kirkman got the Transformers and GI Joe licenses to do comic books and stuff like that, he created the Energon universe. Void Rivals was the official start of that, but it wasn't advertised as being part of Transformers or GI Joe or anything like that. It just kind of came out quietly on its own. And in the couple of panels where Jetfire is in there, you're like, what? Okay, this is huge. It's about these two people, a man and a woman, both pilots, and they both live on different planets, so to speak. If you're reading the issue, you know what I'm talking about, but if you're not reading it, this is going to make sense for you. They live on two separate planets, right? And these societies both hate the other, and they are doing nothing but trying to kill the other side. Well, these two pilots, get in this dogfight, crash on this asteroid or whatever it is, this moon, try and kill each other personally, and then they kind of figure out over the course of the 6 issues that are out right now, they're starting to learn that not everything that they've been led to believe their entire lives is true. And on top of that, you get some awesome cameos from Transformers characters. I mean, they are digging deep into the barrel with some of these guys. The Quintessence are in there, the Sharkticons, the Warthog guy. He was like in one episode of season 2 or
Oh,
something
wow.
like that. Dan had to tell me who it was. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's this guy." Jetfire, you've seen him. Yeah, it's amazing, and it all ties in with Transformers, which is ongoing right now. I think it's at issue 3. Issue 3 came out today, and GI Joe is at 301. So the numbering is continuing. The story is continuing from IDW. It's over at Image now. 301 is out, and then Duke and Cobra Commander come out next year, I believe. Wonderful. Sonny, if you're
Nice.
not reading it, I recommend diving into it. It's something you'll love.
Nice. Well, it sounds really good. So
Yeah.
good thing I asked you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. The whole Energon universe is awesome so far.
Nice. You know, it seems like something that could be pretty awesome, but you know, it might be for when the kids are in bed, and that is the that Penthouse Comics
Ah,
is coming out with a number one. That they are coming back after 30 years. On when will be celebrated? On none other than Valentine's
of
Day.
course.
Penthouse Comics number one, yeah. And they're saying their stories are going to be thrilling, romantic. There's gonna be a lot in there, so it's
I
gonna be a bi-monthly story, so bi-monthly stories, so
so with Penthouse Comics with an X, ladies and gentlemen.
yes.
It with heavy metal is not in publication anymore. For those of you that were reading it, and for those of you that don't know, heavy metal was a mature magazine-sized title that put out cutting-edge science fiction, fantasy, adult stories. Right? These stories are not for kids in any way, shape, or form. If you've seen either of the movies, you know exactly what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. But a lot of
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Good music in
a
those.
lot of great high fantasy, high science fiction came out of heavy metal, with heavy metal closing its pages, so to speak, and no more issues being printed. Penthouse Comics is seriously filling in that void. Obviously, it's going to be adult. I think more adult than heavy metal. But there are some huge people that are going to be a part of this. Behemoth Comics founders announced the return of Penthouse Comics for Valentine's Day 2024. Penthouse Comics number one is going to feature top artists like Gilliam March with diverse action and thriller stories. So that science fiction, that fantasy, high action, high adventure, all that stuff is going to be in there. Some probably, hopefully, some really hardcore horror too. This is going to be a $10 bi-monthly oversized magazine format, continuing the legacy that it had done before. Uh, let's see here. Yeah.
I'm interested in that. I'm interested to see how that
Yeah.
does.
So I mean, I like adult stories, right? There's nothing wrong with adult stories, and there's nothing wrong with adult
Mm,
content in comic books for adults. With that being said, with heavy metal not putting out books anymore, I think this is going to fill a much needed, it's going to fill the void.
yeah. Yeah, you know, maybe Rob Liefeld's Captain America would fit in good with that, you know? With
Possibly
with his double E's, he would fit in very good with
oversized.
House.
Possibly. Yeah, I think so.
The shameful thing is that how it sold for $132,000
We're still talking about it, Sonny.
will not and the Penthouse stuff will not make none of those comics are gonna sell for 132,000.
Probably not.
Maybe there'll be some ladies in the Penthouse comic that will give, you know, big-breasted Captain America a run for his money.
Most likely, I'm pretty sure.
They'll be better looking, but they won't be making as much money.
That's right. They won't be as anatomically correct.
Yeah, but it should be interesting. It is something I would like to check
Yeah,
out. So yeah, so Valentine's Day, and
that's
then
right.
bi-monthly after that. Yeah, so
Yep.
that's something I'm looking forward to.
Right on.
Any other last minute things or?
No, not that I can think of. That's pretty much it for what I do on previews. I mean, I've gone over my poll box, and we've talked about the stuff that we are definitely excited for that's coming out toward the end of the year, the beginning of next year, and it's looking pretty good.
It is.
Yeah,
It is. And now it's time for a new segment.
that's right.
This is this is called What We're Reading. Obviously, you know that we read and review stories here on the Codex podcast. So I've obviously been reading Claire by Scott Snyder and Francis Manipal. But we will get to that review next week. And so I would like to tell you about something else that I've been reading. What I've been reading has been
Let me get you
this.
front and center there.
I'm reading this
Ooh,
Wolverine Weapon X by Barry Windsor Smith. You see my group bookmark there?
that is the
Yes.
classic Wolverine origin story right there.
Yes, and I remember not too long ago, Tim, I'm trying to remember what episode it was, but for some reason we talked about it. We mentioned this story, the one that takes place in Marvel Comics Presents.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then so when I saw it was a good deal on Thanksgiving, and I'm like, this has been on my list. I should get it. And two, it's interesting because with Marvel Comics Presents, it's not like you get the 22 pages.
Right.
It's like 8 pages, about 8 pages. And this collection, it does collect the Wolverine Weapon X parts from Marvel Comics Presents 72 through 84, but
Mm-hmm.
also has a little bit from Wolverine issue 166,
Ooh.
and it has an amazing one shot that I love from the X-Men, and that is the Uncanny X-Men 205.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, when he's on the run fighting Lady Deathstrike. So I was
Yeah,
really glad to see that as a bonus in there.
that's awesome. So they gave it a nice solid sized trade paperback.
Yes, they did. So
That's
that's
cool.
what I'm reading.
All right.
And Tim, what are you reading?
So, ladies and gentlemen, what I am reading right now, I just finished JLA Salvation Run, which was pretty solid, not gonna lie. Dan turned me on to that, and I was able to get a copy and trade. And it was really good. But I have since moved on from that, and what I'm reading right now is Dreamwave's Transformers Volume 1. This collects issues 1 through 6, if I am not mistaken. So, guys, if you have never read the Dreamwave Transformers run, do it. Do it. It's well worth your time because like after Marvel was done, Marvel had the long running Transformers Volume 1, and then they did Generation 2 or the second generation, whichever one it is. And that only went 10 or 12 issues, I believe. And that was late 90s, early 2000s, if that. And then they lost the license, and a Canadian company called Dreamwave got a hold of the license. They had not put out many books before this, but when they got a hold of this, they stayed true to form. They built off of lore that had already been done, and even used major bits of lore from Japan and things like that. And the artwork redefined how Transformers looked. And it is absolutely glorious. This is why all through IDW, they looked a lot like this.
I was just saying, it is really nice artwork.
Oh yeah, Chris Cercini did a lot of the writing for this. Pat Lee is one of the masterminds behind this. I mean, he did the artwork and things of that nature. Highly, highly recommend you check it out. It is absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at that. If you want the animated series in comic book form, this is it. And Dreamwave didn't have it for super long, but for the time that they did have it, they added a wealth of information to the lore that still holds true today. And they revitalized a dying franchise. It's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what we're reading. So anybody watching the comments and let us know what you are reading. And too, feel free to give us
Mhm.
recommendations. We love getting recommendations. We love to read just on our own.
Yes.
Sometimes we love to review stories too. So if there's a story you'd like to see us review or anybody from the Codex Station, let us know. Put it in the comments.
Yeah. That is my second time reading that, by the way. Is that
Nice.
good?
That's good. Yeah, it's a good sign when you can read it multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah. And now we move on to our works, what we've been up to. So a
Mhm.
while ago, I had let everybody know that my story, my short story called The Comic Book, which is available to read on Wattpad under my username, Son of the Writer, but I had adapted my short story of the comic book into screenplay form, and I had entered it into the script to comic contest. And before I had advanced to the quarterfinals, and then it was like, okay, time to announce the semifinals. And it was like, it's going to be released this date. Then on the date, oh, it's going to be a few days from now. Okay. Then on that date, oh, it's going to be next week. Then all these, I keep waiting. Then the next week, okay, 2 days from now. Then 2 days, hear nothing back. And then a couple of days later, okay, it's going to be tomorrow. But finally, I get to get the result. And the comic book did not advance to the semifinals of the script comic contest.
Aw.
The thing though is that making it to the quarterfinals is still something. It is
That's
still something to put
huge.
out there. Yeah, it is. And originally, I wrote it just kind of as a short story. And hey, maybe one day I'll film it.
Mhm.
And then when I saw this contest was out, I'm like, I still want to enter it. I'm like, I might as well just put this story into it out of all. So, for a story that wasn't even meant to be made into a comic to still advance was still something I was glad about.
To
So maybe
make it
one day
to
I'll
the
have a story.
quarters, that's awesome.
And then too, I'm like maybe when I have a story that like I know like okay, this is something I want to be a comic. I'll
Mhm.
make sure to enter.
Nice.
But I did get some good news, and something did advance in a contest, and that is my short story, "The Android and the Being." The screenplay form of that was selected for the Scene Global Film Festival. So that is going on. So the screenplay for
Wow.
The Android and the Being advanced with that, and then they said within about a week they should have the results if it wins best screenplay.
Sonny, that would
So
be
looking for
amazing.
that.
If it wins best screenplay, what are you gonna do? Or what do they do? Does it get option to people to then turn it into something or
I will, if I win, I will receive a PDF trophy. So there you go, Tim. I could be like, guys, look at my new PDF trophy.
Oh my
But
god.
but the thing with that, actually, even just being selected,
Yeah.
uh, even being selected is a victory in itself because
Yeah.
of where it is. The website for people to check out your screenplays, like I said, for someone to let's say who they're looking for a screenplay,
Mhm.
they're like, oh, this sounds interesting. For them to see it, it has to advance somewhere in some kind of contest.
Right.
So if it's not going to show. Nobody could see it.
And that also
But
reinforces your ability as a writer too.
yeah. And so this how even just being selected, now the Android and the Being is available for other people, other filmmakers to see.
Wow.
So like I said, obviously I want to win, right? To say
That's
best
wonderful.
screenplay. But even if it isn't, or if it does win, either way, one day I could randomly get a message like, "Hey, we're interested. We saw this story is available here. Would they could ask you like, "Hey,
Do
can you
you want
send
to
us that
sell the
screenplay?"
script? That
Yeah, like
sort of
either they could
thing?
say, "Do we see it? Do you want to
Yeah.
sell it?" I'm not going to sell it, but I really let people see it. But maybe it would lead to some connections. But yeah, so
Wow, that's
I am glad
wonderful.
about that. Yeah, so keep on, So for everybody, even too, I like to mention, even too, even if I get out of contest, just to let everybody know, like whether you're going through something or you're trying for
Mhm.
something, hey, we have our moments. We have our moments to celebrate. We have our moments where we fall flat on our face, but keep going forward
Hills and
and keep trying.
valleys, ladies and gentlemen, hills and valleys.
Yeah, to keep trying, keep going forward, and in the end of the day, always remember, like for me, it's about the work, and I always look at how much
Mhm.
fun I have, and I'm like, regardless of how far I make it into contests,
Yeah,
it's so fun for me to make that alone is the biggest victory for me. Like I said, I've won contests, I've lost contests, and the best part is always the making the work for me.
perfect.
So,
I'm very
speaking of
happy
making,
for you, I'm very proud.
thank you, my friend,
Yeah.
and I'm very proud of you and everyone here at the Codex station because the Codex station has been up to a lot lately.
Yeah.
What are all those shorts that you and Jamie have been putting out? Jamie's been working on those endlessly, and I see some of those shorts. It's so crazy with shorts, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they can get like 10 views, sometimes they can get 5,000 views.
Yeah.
So even with the other day, he put in the chat
Yeah.
for everybody for Codex, like our statistics and everything,
Mhm.
and our numbers for Codex going up. So
Yeah.
very glad to see it. And we're almost at 1,100 views. We're almost at 1,100 subscribers
That's
on
right.
YouTube now. It
So
seems like
right
not too long ago we were celebrating 1,000.
yeah.
Now we're close to 1,100.
Yeah, right now I think we are at 1,090 subscribers. So if you're watching this right now, hit that subscribe button, guys. If you enjoy content like this, or if you've had a great time watching this program so far, if we have entertained you for the past hour, hit that subscribe button if you don't mind.
Yeah,
We would greatly
hit it.
appreciate it.
We
Yeah,
do. So you hit that button, you punch it, you kick it, you
that's
headbutt
right.
it. Just make sure that it goes through.
Take it gently by the hand and take it out to a nice ice cream social. There you go. But no, Sonny, Sonny, Jamie's been killing it with these shorts. He has done all the work on those, and great work it's been. So we've got a lot more of that type of content coming your way in the far future. So if you're enjoying those right now, or if you haven't seen them, go check them out. They're really cool. As far as stuff on the Codex Station proper goes, Dan has been pumping out interview after interview with major and legendary comic creators. Bob Hall, Mike Grell, he and Uncle Gary sat down and talked to him. I sat with him for Bob Hall, and so many more, guys. And there is more on the way. So be prepared for that in the future. As far as
Dan, we should start calling him Killer Dan, Killer
kill,
Kelly, because he's been
he
killing it with those interviews.
He is the road manager, Dan the Kelly Art, and he road manages the Ric Flair of comic books, Uncle Gary, ladies and gentlemen. For Dan's life story and how he got to that point, make sure to check out our other live program, Codex After Dark, on Saturdays. But
Yeah, just check out Comics of the Week in case you want to
yeah,
see what everybody else is getting in comic books. And the more I like to look at it as like the more relaxed, laid
yeah,
back show, not scheduled, just everybody kind of hanging out. If you liked it, yeah, check it
yeah,
out. And two comic character of the week. I see you guys took on
yes.
Lobo not too long ago. Yeah, the main man.
That was one of the funnest episodes I've ever been a part of for Comic Character of the Week. We had such a great time, and I ended up reading what has to be one of my favorite miniseries I've ever read, and that is Lobo Unbound. If you haven't read that, guys, go read it. You will not be disappointed. Though, if you are offended
I'm gonna have to do
easily,
that.
yeah, if you are offended easily, don't check it out. But if you can make it through, definitely do it. As far as newer stuff that's coming out before the end of the year, we have got our Secret Santa episode that should be coming out on the 23rd of December, right in time for Christmas. So you get to spend Christmas with Codex. Sonny and I here, along with everybody else at the Codex station. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. But then, Sonny, the thing we have been waiting for all year, the bookend to the Codex station's rise to fame, is the Codex Awards, the Codies. I am excited about that. We have the same categories we had last year. Biggest surprise, best writer of the year, best artist of the year, best current series, best series read. That encompasses things that don't have to be new. Best event of the year, top publisher, and of course our legacy award. Ladies and gentlemen, to see what everybody chooses for that, tune in December 30th. It's a Saturday, and it'll be about 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Tune in for that. It's going to be great.
Yeah. One thing I like that's the one show. Well, even the Secret Santa show too. I
Yeah.
like to relax. I
Yeah.
don't host, so I just sit back, relax, and I hang out. And too, with the Secret Santa, I'll be getting gifts. I'll be opening a gift.
Yes.
So,
And
always fun. Watch grown adults open gifts.
yeah, absolutely. And with the
And then
Codex
the next week,
Awards,
watch us give people awards.
yeah, we get to talk about the most awesome stuff in comics for the year. That I look forward to it every year. And when
I already
November
know you're
rolls,
going with.
what?
I already know, Tim. You're picking Spider-Man for the best. Zeb Wells for the best writer.
Yeah, yeah, he was definitely. Now wait a minute. I will admit, I honestly did consider putting his name in the list of those to pick for best writer of the year, only because of how mad he made me. But that lasted about 30 seconds, and I was like, "What are you thinking? Absolutely not!" And I moved on.
I was gonna say, Tim. All the complaining, you're gonna nominate the guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he got me talking, and he got me talking for darn near the whole year. So
Hey, so hey, Rob Liefeld, is you talking? So maybe Liefeld
true
versus
too.
Wells.
Oh my god. All right. Well, yeah, that's it for Codex. Like everything we've got going for the rest of the year. Plus, as always, we've got tons of awesome content coming out for you next year. One of the big things that we're going to try and do, I think most of us are on board for it already. You saw Dan and Sal truck around, and Uncle Gary too. You saw them truck around at Baltimore Comic Con this year. Next year, we are trying to get the stars aligned so everybody can be up there at once.
Hopefully, you guys join me at C2E2 this time. I was all alone with my phone, and then good thing I ran into one of my friends, Dan, not Codex Station Dan,
Mhm.
but another friend of mine named Dan, and so I was like, "Hey, could you record me as I
It is
ask these people
possible.
about the sign?" And
It is possible. My kids are chomping at the bit to go up to Chicago, and we'll just stay with you.
and you still owe me Portillo's.
That is very true. Yes.
I remember over a year ago, Tim. I will not forget. I'll be like, Tim, Tim owes me Portillo's.
Oh, I can't wait. That
Two chili cheese dogs, no onions, a large fry, and a chocolate cake shake.
you need onions on chili cheese dogs. I'm sorry. I had this
I always
conversation with
say
my
no.
niece earlier, and I told her she was wrong too.
Damn, everyone's going against you.
I
You can't be
guess.
wrong.
All right. But yeah,
But
ladies and
Tim,
gentlemen, like, share, subscribe, Codex Station. Don't miss out on awesome content.
and now let's speak about somebody who isn't awesome, and that is the F lister of this week. Tim, the F lister of the week is Fluff.
Oh,
Now, would you do everyone the dishonor of showing them the pictures we have
I
of this Marvel
absolutely
character?
will. Oh, he's a Marvel character. Okay.
There he is. Fluff, look at him with his. He just has like a white outfit, his whole chest hanging out. You even see the belly button and everything. And there he is again.
How you pick these characters is quite beyond me.
Here he is standing above everybody. I'll read it. Back away, folks. The party's over. And someone's like, it looks like something that looks like mucus or something is screaming. And then there's a woman and she says, in spite of myself, I'm impressed. But where the hell are you, Mr. Goddamn Smith?
And then there's this one.
Oh yeah. And then we see that so I guess he's being a jerk. Basically, Fluff comes in and he says, hey, that's no way to talk about a babe. And then a woman says, I am not a babe.
Oh my god. Okay. So
Tim, tell us the history of Fluff.
so ladies and gentlemen, Fluff, Andrew McCarston, as he is known in the general public, used to work in the adult film industry as a fluffer. If you don't know what that is, he makes sure that
Oh,
stars are ready to go with anything that they need to help them get into the role. And he got tired of that. But one time when he was helping an actress or actor prepare, a lightning bolt struck the set and it hit a vat of cosmetically altered makeup. And he got doused with that, hence turning him into the ability to do that. Now, once that happened, he had to go fight crime, and he had to do it for the ladies and the gents too. And the only name that he could choose that even sounded right was the job that he had in the film industry, and that was Fluff. There you go.
Tim,
Am I anywhere close?
Tim, that might be the background because there isn't much background in the
Oh my
history
God.
of Fluff. For instance, I'm getting some of this info from Marvel.fandom, but
I
yeah, there
can't
is
believe he's a
Fluff.
Marvel character.
Yes, he is from Excellent,
Oh my
and
God.
his name is unrevealed. So literally, just you could be right on the name. All he's
Cool.
known is Fluff. He is from Excellent and Earth 616, and he is a mutant. And he is an adventurer. He is from Death Valley, California. Fluff was created by Peter Milligan and Mike Allred.
Yeah.
His first appearance was in Excellent issue number 3 in May of 2022. And he died 2 issues later in Excellent issue number 5 in July of 2022. Or Tim, it may actually, you know what? It says his death was then, but he pretty much died in 4 and his corpse was found in issue 5.
Oh my
I
God.
I had to dig a little deep for this character. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
As you can see there, his belly button is shown. There's a bit
Mhm.
of smelly stuff around him. So his
Mhm.
power is cyanide. Fluff was able to generate cyanide, a kind of glue, and he did it from his belly. So basically, his belly smell and the fuzz he would get in his belly would create
No.
that nasty stuff around him. That was his mutant ability, Tim. And you might be wondering how he died. Well, Fluff was a member of Excellent. And what happened was he was teleported into the sky above a rainforest by the character Whoosh under the order of Zygist. And since he was in the sky, he can't fly. His mutant ability of creating smelly things from his belly button did not help him at all. Since he was teleported to the sky, Fluff fell down to his death. And in issue number 5 of Excellent, his corpse was found.
Oh
And there
my
was no
God.
more of Fluff. He is still dead to this day. And another interesting thing is,
That is horrible.
yeah, he's horrible. His story is horrible, and people thought he was so horrible that the writing, Marvel.fandom, I like to go to it. Sometimes I read parts, but the writers didn't even care to put much effort into his biography.
They
For
just needed a
instance,
character to be killed in the next issue.
here's what they wrote on Marvel.fandom when it says history. Fluff joined Excellent. He was teleported into the sky above the Amazon rainforest by Whoosh under the order of Zygist. He fell down and dead. So they didn't even bother to put the time in to put that he fell down and died. They
Oh
put,
my
yeah, he fell
God.
down and dead.
Maybe
So
we'll see him in Deadpool 3. Here's hoping.
yeah, so if there's a character in Deadpool 3 and suddenly it's like his belly button smells, that's Fluff.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, because yeah, right, he is part of the, he's part of the Earth 616. He's from Excellent. And they used to fight. I guess they were a team. They would fight X-Statics.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
there's
so
that.
yeah, there's that. And some people may be wondering why why Jamie wasn't a part of this episode. Well, it was because me and him got in a bit of a fight, and I pulled out a piece of fuzz from my belly button and I threw it at him. And now Jamie will not be on the podcast for the rest of the year because
Did you
that
stand
devastating
over him
blow has put him out
like
for the year.
this afterwards?
I did. I stoned him just like that. In
Or
that
like
same
this?
outfit, that very revealing outfit, had to show all the chest hair and the belly
Oh
button
my
hair.
God. This
So,
is
Jamie, we hope you get better. I didn't mean to hurt you so bad using the power that Fluff uses. And yes, so there's Fluff. He's dead. He only lasted, like I said, 2 issues. And that third issue, which is considered his death, was really just his body, his corpse being found.
Uncle Gary. If you are watching this episode, please compare Fluff to Heavy Flow and let me know which is worse.
Ooh, yes. Maybe on Kodak's show, definitely do it.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about it on After Dark this Saturday, so don't worry about that.
Yes. So Yes, and After Dark. Yes, you guys can have a lot of fun
Mm,
on their uncensored, heavy flow and fluff. So it'll be a
no.
fun one. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, fluff. I think we were going to both agree on this one. Do you think he can make it out of the F list?
No.
No.
Absolutely
No,
not.
no. The best Fluff can do, like you said, would be as if like he appeared in Deadpool
Yeah.
as like a joke, but he could appear in Deadpool. He could appear in X-Men. He could appear in anything.
If he appeared
Fluff
in
is not getting
Deadpool,
out.
watch those 3 issues that one, he's alive in, and 2, he's dead in, skyrocket. That would be hilarious. Everybody
On the hunt.
get your first appearances of Fluff ready for Deadpool 3. We're calling it here
Yes.
first.
Yes. Excellent. The 2022 version, issue 3 is his first
Oh
appearance.
my
He
God.
technically gets thrown from the sky in 4, and then in 5 his corpse is found.
Done.
And on the cover of Excellent 5, it is the team they're finding, and you see like the hand of someone who
And it's
is a
Fluff.
corpse. I'm guessing it's Fluff's
That's
hand.
great. His final cover appearance. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Just his only cover. I think it's his only cover appearance.
Oh my
Is literally his hand. And the skin colors change too. Like it's all white, so he's all pale.
Wow.
He's clearly dead.
That's I can't wait to see what you choose next week. I
I'm
really
excited. I
can't.
think. Yeah, I may have to maybe something with the Christmas spirit. I will see.
Oh my God.
Where the world takes me.
There you go.
Yeah, which F-listers led to me next. But once I saw Fluff, I said, nope, Fluff isn't going to a later episode. Fluff
That's
is there
happening
and
now.
Oh yeah. It's happening. He is joining. He is gonna fall from the sky. Imagine being killed by a character named Whoosh. Yeah, pretty embarrassing.
Sonny, the F list is one of your greatest creations for the podcast because every week I'm either disgusted or confused. One of the
Or
two.
both.
Or both.
Trust me, I am too sometimes.
I love it when Jamie creates the backgrounds for these characters. I enjoy it when I get the opportunity to, and it never is anywhere close to what they actually are. And that makes it even more awesome. So they are not F-listers in our hearts. They are C-listers at best.
In our hearts. But in our minds though, we know where they belong.
That's right. Get back down at the bottom of the barrel.
Yes. God. All of them. Heavy Flow, Brown Bomber, Fluff.
My favorite one is
Youngblood.
My favorite one so far, I think, is the guy with no arms.
Oh yeah, Armless Tiger Man.
Yeah, exactly. He was great. Like, what could he have done? Well, he could have done a lot, but he didn't have any arms, and that was amazing.
And
And
I love the picture when the guy punches him just in the stomach.
And the guy, the old timey guy with the bicycle.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember his name either.
Turner D Sanctuary.
That's right, that guy. Yeah, he was awesome too.
That was many fun F-listers and more to come. There are so many F-listers out there, and I want to find them all.
We've done Super Pro, haven't we?
He was the second one.
That's right.
Yep, we did.
Okay.
Yes, Super Pro.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, whoa, he definitely is an F-lister.
I think he's the most not offensive F-lister that we've done.
And probably.
Yeah.
And one of the most iconic, because he is NFL Super Pro is a character who is mentioned. Like in Facebook groups, people will be like,
yeah,
remember this character? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fluff, not so much though, but that's we had to give Fluff his what was it? 10 minutes of fame.
His time to shine.
On the Codex podcast.
Oh my God.
We love to give those horrible characters the time to shine. I really wonder what was going through the creators' minds when they said, how about a character whose power is smelly,
who secretes a glue-like substance from his belly button? Yeah, go with that.
In real life. Maybe one of those things that happened, like someone's belly was smelling, and they're like,
"Oh my Lord,
that's a pretty good character, right there."
No, that's not a good character at all.
That's their thinking, not me. No fluff characters in any Sonny Kruger
Oh my
books
God.
yet.
I'm done talking about his belly button lint and the stuff that comes out of it.
Now, whenever we get belly button lint, we'll
Oh,
think back to Fluff.
sure. Done. There you
R.I.P.
go. His legacy.
R.I.P. Fluff. And with that, we could start wrapping this up. Next time on the Codex Podcast, we will be having an episode, a special Thursday, so that will be December 14th, and that is when we will be reviewing Claire by
Yes.
Scott Snyder and Francis Manipal, and that may be the last regular episode of the Codex Podcast. We will see. Next week, we'll have more of the update on that, but like I said, there's still plenty more things coming from the Codex station. One thing I've definitely got to get working on, maybe for next year, one of the things I could be doing next year is maybe I could come up with like a saying, a goodbye saying to end the show.
There you go.
Okay, so for now, goodbye to all you fluffers. Take care. Tim will wrap this thing up with
There
his belly button smell.
There. Yeah, okay, we're good. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being a part of tonight's episode. I hope you had as much of a great time as we did. With that being said, you can find us on all the socials. All you got to do is type in at the Codex Station, and that is where we will be. Your favorite social media platform, and where we're live streaming right now. All you got to do is hit the like, share, subscribe, and follow, so that way you don't miss out on awesome content like this all the time, every time. We are live 3 times a week, and we have new episodes of multitudes of things coming out every day of the week. So don't miss out. Ladies and gentlemen, to get even more of a fix on your Codex-ness, head over to thecodexstation.com for all your Codex needs. Get some merch, meet the team, and so much more. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thecodexstation.com. There's an earthquake in Chicago. Also, ladies and gentlemen,
Need that merch.
there you go. Also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget you can find us over on Facebook too, in a neat little community called Comic Character of the Day. Join in on the conversation. We are all in there. Everybody you see on the Codex Station is in Comic Character of the Day. Facebook.com/Comic Character of the Day. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big shout out to our sponsor for this week's episode, W Energy. Make sure to head over to W.Energy, W.GG, to save 10% on your order using code X, keyword code -X at checkout. Once again, W.GG, head over there to save 10% on your order using that keyword right there, code -X. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much for being a part of tonight's episode. I had a great time. Sonny, I know you had a great time, and we are extremely happy that you were a part of this too. As always, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim the Terrible. This guy over here is Son the Writer, Sonny Kruger. This is the Codex Podcast right here on the Codex Station, and we will see you next time.